Hi, this is Lian from Nyonya. Good morning to you. Today I just want to show you a little bit about Pandan. It's in Malaysia we call this Pandan, Pandanus or skrewpine. I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about what actually Pandan is. Now, have a look at this. This is a baby pandan plant, and this is a grown-up plant which has the leaf of this size. So, what do we use this pandan for? In Asia, we use it number one as fragrance, aroma. We normally add this to when we cook rice or brew a dessert. We just wanted some aroma, and this is what we use. So normally we'll just go for the older plants, the bigger leaves, and we wash. We either tie them, and if you sometimes you see nasi lemak, we put them in the rice and cook it, or when we preparing any dessert dishes like green bean soup or sweet potato soup, we just add this on it. You can use it in a rice, anything. It's just a little bit of the aroma. It grows very well in a warm area such as Southeast Asia. It's everywhere. It's abundant. You can see it anywhere. However, when we come to Australia, this is really hard to find because number one, it's not easy to grow. They don't react well to cooler weather. So this is my plant. I mean, I have a greenhouse for those plants. However, the weather doesn't really agree. I mean, this plant doesn't agree with the cooler weather. So the aroma that comes up from the leaves, this one, I mean, it doesn't look very healthy. It's actually quite light green. By right, it should be really dark green to get the really strong aroma. When the aroma is not strong due to the weather, evaporation from the leaves, it just harder to get the coloring and the aroma from the leaves. So two things that we use from the leaves is the aroma and the coloring. So when you see those Nyonya Kuih, the Malaysian dessert, we have the white layer and the green layer. Those are the natural coloring. In Asia, we don't really use artificial coloring a lot. We have a lot of natural resources that gives us the natural coloring, like the butterfly pea, which we have the blue coloring, and this pandan is the green and fragrant. So what I'm going to do to show you is we sort of source the pandan from Malaysia, but we use it in such a way that is so convenient for you to use it overseas. Those countries that do not have access to pandan very easily, we use it, we took in the powder. So I'm going to show you what the powder is like. It's green. It's actually all this leaf freeze dry and you break it into the powder form. So what is the result of this is you still have the aroma, the fragrance of the pandan from Asia, and you still have the coloring. So what I'm going to show you how we actually use this. This is one that I have it in the freezer. So this is actually from the leaves itself. So what I've done last time was I used this leaf, I put into the blender with some water and I blend it and then we squeeze it, and then this is the juice. So normally I will have some juice left in the fridge or freezer should I need it. But now with the powder, it's the same principle, but we freeze dry it instead and get the coloring and the aroma packed into this powder form. It's sort of 10 kilos of powder equivalent to 100 kilos of leaves. into 10 kilos of powder, so it's really strong. So when you use it, don't overuse it. It's just going to be overpowering the aroma and the coloring. So in standard measurement, and this is based on your liking, how concentrated or how strong the color you want. For a normal cake, 1 tablespoon of the powder is more than enough. But if you want it a little bit more, just add another 1 teaspoon, right? So how do you get the, how do you use this? So basically 2 ways of doing it. You can actually add it into the water, right? I'm just going to show you a little bit. Stir, and be mindful that this is a powder form of pandan, so allow it to sit for a while to dissolve the dry leaves and to get the coloring out. So do you see, you can get the green coloring out of the pandan, but you do need to sieve it. This is the downside of using anything dry. You have to sieve it just to get the residue of the dry leaves out. Remembering this is different. This is, you blend the leaves, you just only get the water. You do not eat the leaves, you just chuck it away. Whereas this one is leaves, everything in one. So let it sit. If you have the time, let it sit and sieve it. I'm just going to show you once you sieve it, what's going to happen. Alright, this is just like a 2 minutes, 1 minute duration. I would actually like it to be like probably about 5 minutes if you can. Okay, and okay, that is the residue you get. If you're going to cook it in a rice, leave it, put everything in there. It's all right. You know, you won't feel it that much. But if you're going to make some layer cake or something that is like kaya, sieve it. So that's your pandan juice. It's simple. Add water, add powder, and you have it. It's the same as what you get from the leaves. This is your powdered water. Can you see it's a little bit darker because it's really concentrated? Okay. Now, normally when I want to do kaya things, I take the shortcut. I don't really sieve it. I just add everything in. This is coconut milk, right? And if I want to make kaya, which is like custard, I'll just add it in. And that's it. And as you cook it, some of them will dissolve, some of them will have a miniature residue shown on the surface of the custard. Kaya is egg and coconut milk. It's the same as making custard, which is the egg and milk, whereas we use coconut milk. That is the mixture, and if you want it more, add more to give it a little bit more color. Right, so for a normal custard, for one recipe of kaya, normally I'll use about 1 tablespoon to 1.5. It will give it the really green color. Right, so I hope this will help you to understand how to actually use the powder. And you can get all these from the Nyonya Licious website. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make things so much easier, so much faster, and still taste as authentic as and as close to the original dish. Thank you.